Right. In the previous class, we saw the reason why we need different type of LSAs. And also we spoke about virtual link. Today our focus is on the LSA types in detail. Here you see there are 11 LSA types, in which this 9, 10 and 11 are called opaque LSA. They are used along with IPv6, segment routing, etc. Type 8, if you see, this type of LSA comes only when BGP and OSPF works together. When you want to carry BGP's attribute in OSPF, when you want to carry BGP's attribute for those networks that you redistribute into OSPF, this LSA is used. So this is called external attribute LSA. External attribute LSA, because BGP is external to OSPF. BGP given routes are external. And BGP always advertises routes along with attributes. So when attributes are carried in OSPF, we need a carrier to carry it. We need an advertisement type to carry that attribute, BGP attribute. By default, OSPF don't have any attribute, they don't carry any attribute. Only when you take BGP and put it into OSPF, this attribute need to be considered by OSPF, for which OSPF uses LSA type 8. In coming days of OSPF class, we will be focusing on a topic called stubby area. In that stubby area, there is a type called not so stubby area, which is the third type. Inside the not so stubby area, advertisements are LSA type 7. The networks are advertised as type 7. And then whenever we have multicast, you want multicast traffic to be carried by OSPF. In that case, we need LSA type 6. So now let us do it again one more time from down to 6. 1 to 5, we will do lot of labs, we will do verification, all the stuff. But 6 to 11, they are not OSPF. They are multicast, they are exceptional not so stubby area, they are BGP, they are IPv6 combined with OSPF. So we don't see that now in this OSPF topic. We'll be seeing maybe later. So let us see one more time here, then we will move on to our OSPF LSA types, type 1 to 5. So once again, from 6 to 11. Type 9, 10 and 11 are LSA types. 9, 10 and 11 LSA types are called as opaque LSA. These LSAs are used now to carry OSPF IPv6 OSPF related advertisement. IPv6, not the D for IPv4. And also it is used in some other places like traffic engineering using RSVP, segment routing, etc. Type 8 LSA is when BGP routes are carried by OSPF. BGP not just advertising the network, they advertise attribute along with the network. They advertise attribute along with network. So to carry the attribute, LSA type 8 is used. Type 7, not so stubby area. It's a special area type in which the external networks, which supposed to be type 5, are carried as type 7. When we go there, we will learn this type 7. Yeah. Next, type 6, multicast OSPF LSA. See, multicasting is not one-to-one. So whenever an update is carried to multiple OSPF neighbor, this type 6 LSA is going to be used. Alright, now let us focus on first 5, which is more important than 6 to 11. You see, every router will send advertisement. If router has got 3 ports, 3 wires, 3 interfaces, via all 3 port advertisement, LSA advertisement will be sent. This advertisement that goes out from every single router on every wire, on every port is called as router LSA. Type 1, router LSA. See, the name is easy to remember. It comes from every single router. Router LSA comes from every single router. Network LSA, which is type 2 LSA, you see the name is saying network LSA. For one single network in a LAN, you have a network. That is what we called as LAN, one network, one LAN. In a LAN, in a broadcast environment, you may have many routers. For all the routers, there is going to be one designated router, DR, correct? In a broadcast network type, we learned that there will be a DR, BDR and others. Now this type 2 LSA called network LSA This LSA comes only from DR. It comes only from designated router. DR, designated router. Network LSA comes only from designated router. Router LSA comes from every single router. Now these two LSAs have got something in common. What is it? These two LSAs, both the LSAs, they are local. They are not advertised outside their area. This advertisement type 1 and type 2 will be only circulated within the area. Will be only advertised within the area. Type 1 LSA and type 2 LSA will not be sent to other area. Then how the other areas can learn the network? How the other areas can learn the network of this area? It is only through type 3. So what happens? The ABR router which is in between two area, in between area 0 and the other area, the ABR only advertises the route information of this area to that area using the advertisement type called summary LSA, type 3. Summary LSA. By default, OSPF will not summarize, but if you want to summarize, you do where? On the ABR. Whether you do the summarization or not, the type is summary LSA. The LSA that goes out from ABR carrying the route information of this area to other area is type 3 summary LSA. Even if it is not summarized, still the name is going to be summary LSA. Now, let's go to type 5, then we'll come back to type 4. In last class, I showed you ASBR. What is ASBR? On ASBR, we do redistribution. So then what happens is when you redistribute, the external network will start coming inside OSPF. The external network, that external network is not OSPF's own network. It is coming from some other source. External network. Now this external network that is coming from other autonomous system, those networks are advertised inside OSPF as type 5. As type 5. For example, if you are taking RIP routes and giving inside OSPF through redistribution, those RIP networks, the RIP networks that is coming inside OSPF, they're all going to be carried inside OSPF through the advertisement called Autonomous System External LSA type 5. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Autonomous System External LSA. Fine. Now let us go to type 4. What is type 4? Type 4 originates from before that I want to ask, from where this type 5 originates? ASBR.
Yeah.
ASBR, from the place where you do redistribution, from that router. Now that router's router ID, that router's router ID is advertised by the ABR of that ASBR, which is called as type 4 LSA. Type 4 LSA is nothing but the router ID of ASBR. Now who originates it? The ABR of the area in which ASBR is located. So because the type 4 and type 3 originates from ABR, they got the same name, summary LSA. Type 4 is not going to carry any network information. It carries only the router ID of the ASBR. External networks are carried inside OSPF as type 5 LSA, and this type 5 originates from the ASBR itself. Type 3 LSA is the one which is bringing the other area routes into this area and this area route to other area, and this originates from ABR. Because both type 3 and type 4 originate from ABR, the name is same, summary LSA. Type 2 LSA is the LSA that originates from designated router, DR, designated router, DR. And type 1 LSA is the one which comes from every single router. This type 1 and type 2 are local to the area. Type 1 and type 2 will not cross the area border. Now let us go one by one and see in the presentation here. Read it yourself, please.
Sure, sir.
So from every link, this type 1 LSAs LSAs are sent along with the router ID, and they don't cross the border. They are flooded within the area. Now let us go to the second one. Read it yourself for a minute.
Each transit broadcast or NVMe network in area includes list of attached routers on the transit link, includes subnet mask of link, advertised by the DR of the broadcast network, as reflects within its area only and does not cross ABR.
Okay. So this is nothing but the LSA that comes from designated router only. The designated routers are the router that is all known router in a broadcast environment. Alright, so now let us move on to the third one.
Yes.
Read it yourself. Yep, so this LSA is originating from the border routers, carrying the network information of one area to another area along with the mask, and then this area is flooded throughout the autonomous system. For example, this area information is advertised by this ABR and it is regenerated again by this ABR to other area. In that way, it is going throughout the autonomous system. Okay, that is type 3 LSA. Again, summarization is not done by default. Summarization need to be done. It is by name summary LSA, but summarization is not done by default. And advertisements are done for every subnet.
Got it.
Okay, type 4, read it.
Okay. Type 4 LSA are used
So
to
this is just the router ID of ASBR. But where it originates, see, it is not originating from ASBR. It originates from the ABR of the ASBR area. Alright, the last one is type 5. This LSA originates from the ASBR itself. This carries the external routes. Alright, the routes are not summarized. If you want, you need to summarize. Now to verify the LSAs, we type show IP OSPF database, in which you can see this is router LSA information. This is network LSA information. This is type 3 summary LSA information. So this is the command show IP OSPF database is the place where you can see all LSA types.
So can you highlight that?
There is no highlighted. See, show IP OSPF database.
Yes.
And you see router LSA. Router.
Route.
You see net LSA. See summary LSA.
Yes, sir. Yes. Got it, sir. Summary LSA.
Hmm.
Link states.
All right. So we'll stop here and we'll continue this